Welcome to the Donor's Profile tutorial. It is projected that air traffic will double by 2030, placing greater pressure and requiring the allocation of sufficient resources from states and industry to ensure safe, efficient, secure, economically viable, and environmentally sound air transport systems. ICAO's work programs are expanding and are prioritized to respond to the needs of states. In order to inform the resource mobilization efforts of ICAO and its member states, the Partnerships and Resource Mobilization section launched an application on iStars called the Donor Profiles. This application contains information on financial flows dispersed and committed by donor states obtained from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development's public database enriched by ICAO data. Information in this app will support the advocacy efforts with donors to allocate funds to sustainable aviation development. iStars contains applications on aviation intelligence, including the donor profile. You can access this application by typing donor profile in the search engine and clicking on this icon. The first box of the profile provides key figures and the status of donors vis-a-vis agreed development aid commitments and financial contributions to ICAO. The best-known target in international aid proposes to raise official development assistance, ODA, to 0.7% of donors' gross national income, GNI. This indicator is generated by the Development Assistance Committee, DAC, of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is a forum of 30 states that discusses issues related to aid, development, and poverty reduction in developing countries. The donor profile uses ODA data available on the OECD public database. The first two DAC indicators show the ranking of the donor by GNI and volume. The third indicator shows the international commitment of 0.7% of donors' GNI as a reference. The fourth and fifth indicators show the GNI percentage actually dispersed in 2015 with the corresponding amount. The Key Figures box also includes references to assessed and contributions provided in 2015 to ICAO voluntary funds. It also mentions if the donor is represented in the ICAO Council. The Development Aid box shows the aid development flows supported by the states to OECD. ODA is represented in red. The top recipients boxes show the recipient states ranked on the amount of ODA in US dollars effectively dispersed and committed for future years. This information can serve to identify the donor's priority recipient states for development aid. The ODA breakdown by region shows the regions of the world where ODA is being allocated by a specific donor. This can also serve to identify donors' priority regions. The ODA breakdown by sector box is an interactive graph that shows the sectors in which ODA is dispersed by a specific donor. You can click on the Economic Infrastructure and Services section to zoom in and identify how this section is subdivided. You can further zoom in on Transport and Storage to identify how this subsection is sliced. Aviation is always shown in red so that the sector can be easily identified. Please note that once you zoom in, you need to refresh the web page to using this graph in its original format. The ODA to air transport box shows the ODA to air transport provided by a specific donor over the period of 10 years. The overall ODA to air transport by all DAC states and another donor state are shown for comparison purposes. The profile closes with a box that provides an analysis of the graphs above and provides some information on the contributions provided by the specific donor to ICAO. Thank you for your attention. We hope that this application supports your resource mobilization efforts.